You are watching Roll for Crit at PhD's Speed Gaming event. Thanks for joining us. We are here with Ryan from Cryptozoic, who has some stuff that I'm very much looking forward to talk to you about. We could start here. This one we're familiar with.
Sure.
That we've actually played. Let's go.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Sure.
So we'll start, with Cartoon Network Crossover Crisis deck building game. You guys, I know, are familiar with our Cerberus deck builders. You guys are fans of the DC line, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I've played actually all of them.
Fantastic. So this is built on the same system as the DC Comics line, as well as other deck builders we've done in the past. So really easy to learn, nice and user-friendly, and good to introduce people to the deck building mechanics that exist in our industry, which is really fun. And this one in particular includes a whole mashup of various Cartoon Network properties. So you've got Adventure Time, you've got Steven Universe, you have a variety of other characters and TV show brands all mashed in there together. Plays very similar, where everyone is trying to get the high score by the end of the game, but this one has its own little wrinkles that it brings, just like all of our deck builders usually do. This one introduces new event card types, which you maybe can see some of here on the table. Events are one-shot things that are going to come up into the lineup during the game that are going to apply to the turn player and have them be doing various things that are kind of goofy party game.
Yes, I believe we have a vine of you being an elephant.
We've made animal noises.
Right, animal noises, and like the floor and the table are hot lava, so you have to not touch anything, so I like to really consider this one almost like a deck building strategy game mashed with like a party game, just because of the way that the social interaction starts coming coming to the top.
We also want to point out, which we thought was really interesting, the balance between the new shows for Cartoon Network and old veterans that like we watch
classics,
when we were kids.
Right. Yeah, there's a good mix of new and old for sure. So this one just came out back in April for us, so just last month. Really excited for this one.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Cartoon Network franchises.
Right, nice little segue into our next couple upcoming things here. We have a couple new games actually coming with the Rick and Morty brand from Adult Swim. Rick and Morty is very much a adult-oriented cartoon. If you have not watched, if our viewers are not familiar, definitely check it out. It's hysterical, but definitely the 18 and older sensibilities, maybe 16 if you're, whatever.
Yeah, savvy 16-year-olds.
But
parental discretion is advised.
Right. So this one here is coming out at the end of June, called Total Rickall card game. The name is taken from an episode of the same name in which the Smith family, their household is infested with alien parasites that start showing up as crazy characters and acting like they've been there all along, which is kind of a trope of TV shows sometimes. They're kind of poking fun at that while making a fun story. So they're having to figure out who's real, who can they trust, and so forth. So in the Total Rickall card game, it's a cooperative deduction game where all the players are trying to figure out, of all the crazy characters on the table, who's real and who's a parasite. So for example, you have Sleepy Gary or Cousin Nicky or Mr. Poopy Butthole, which I assure you is an actual character from the show.
Yep.
He was real.
We can verify.
And spoilers, but he was real, yeah. So they're either real or they're a parasite. And you don't know that, but you have action cards you're going to be playing as a kind of simultaneous play that allows you to either shoot at something and eliminate them if you think they're a parasite, but you have to be careful not to shoot too many real people or the game will end and so forth. So you're trying to identify all the parasites and save all the real people by the time the deck runs out. So nice light little cooperative deduction game coming out into June. We have some other stuff with Rick and Morty coming out later this year based on the Mr. Meeseeks episode, Meeseeks and Destroy. That'll be another party game with, again, some very adult sensibilities to it. So look for that. It'll be a fun dice game and various dares and interactivity there, so that'll be fun.
Sounds perfect.
Aside from our licenses, and particularly the Cartoon Network stuff, we have a lot of new originals coming out. One of the big ones we're showing off here at the PhD show this week is Internal Affairs, which is another deduction game, but not based on a particular license. As a fun bit of trivia, the name Internal Affairs is a play off of the film Infernal Affairs, which is, as an extra bit of trivia, what the movie The Departed was based on, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's based on a movie based on a movie.
Right, so it's a game based on a movie, which is based, anyway. So this is literally that kind of concept of you have undercover policemen, you have undercover mobsters, basically, or in this case the triad, have infiltrated one another, and you're not really sure who you can actually trust.
Well, never trust Jonathan, no matter what.
That's a role for any game, yeah.
So this one's a really fun, code-breaking deduction game where you have the ability to actually switch your affiliations over the course of the game. So you can start and you're on Team Triad, but you can be switching cards with people and switch to team, to the police team and so forth. So really cool little game. This will be coming out beginning of July, so just shortly after the Total Rickall game. So
I love both of them. Are these small boxes? It's really appealing box art. I like that
Sure.
a lot.
And the game, it's filled to the brim with a game that you're excited to play.
Right? Yeah, no, I'm excited for both of those. Yeah, that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite Rick and Morty episodes. That's going to be really cool. Anything else that you have in the pipeline?
So
you
much
wanna
stuff.
Talk about? You probably,
so
you
much
have a
stuff.
billion
This is kind of
things.
our next couple of releases. We wanted to focus on these, but yeah,
Right.
we have going out through the rest of the year. We have new games with the Attack on Titan license that's been
Right,
announced,
right.
and we're really excited to get those out there. The deck building game and the tactical board.
Yeah, we
game
got to do the
coming.
prototype for that, and we love it.
Yeah, so those are really awesome. We're excited for those. We have a couple new originals, the Mad Science Foundation and Poker Assault, that we're really excited for. Some titles to keep an eye out for, and of course we have new DC stuff in the works. Nothing to announce yet.
Okay.
We're in kind of a hold right now with some stuff, but we're hoping by the end of the year to have some fun new things to announce.
Any plans for expansions for Cartoon Network in specific that you can
we
talk
have
about?
some ideas. Nothing is concrete at all
Okay,
yet since it just barely released. We got to see kind of how it does, how the market reacts to it. If people like the game, if people are buying it, then at that point, does it justify an expansion? Sure. We definitely have some of the titles that are not in the base game that we really would like to expand
Oh yeah, no,
upon.
there are a couple
There's
we
more
were
there.
There's a couple that, in particular that people have been like, oh, where's this brand?
We also
And
joked
like,
how
well,
about how Cartoon Network does have the right to DC show on the show.
Sure.
So we're like,
Yeah.
so mixing it doesn't. It's
we
really
can mix Teen Titans into Cartoon.
Exactly.
We were also actually joking because they have the jokey Teen Titans show going on now, Teen Titans Go.
Right.
And that'd be weird. It's like
Right.
it's a DC and a Cartoon Network crossover.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Perfect.
overall great. We've definitely thought this was a good hit. You did
Awesome.
capture the Cartoon Network flavor of making it stand out differently compared to you have your DC one, your Lord of the Rings one. Six we've done very enjoyable. That would definitely attract the younger audience. I assume we'd play this as well as our age.
Sure.
And of course, we're also very excited to play these games as well. So much coming up from Cryptozoic. Keep an eye out. But for now, thanks for talking with us.
Yeah,
And this
thank
is
you guys.
Overcrate at PhD Speed Gaming.